welcome back. This is round number 4, unit rate and slope. So we'll be taking what we know about unit rate and combining it together with slope. Key concept for today says a rate is a ratio that describes how one quantity changes as the other quantity changes. You can find unit rate from a graph in the same way that you would find slope. Well, if we go back to our definition from yesterday on slope, again, slope is a ratio. So if slope is a ratio and is written technically as a unit rate, aren't we truly finding a unit rate when we find the slope? So they're just reminding us here that we're choosing 2 points in the graph to find the slope. I like how it's color-coded here. Unfortunately, it's not in your paper, but they're showing you that the points in red are your x-coordinates, so they're going to go in the denominator, and they're showing you that your y-coordinates are in blue, so they would go in the numerator. They chose 6 the first time, so that meant that they would choose 3 for the first time for the x. They get 4/3 is the slope of the line, and that the slope can be interpreted as either a rate or a unit rate. This is kind of important here. If you read it as 4 inches every 3 weeks, that's considered a rate because the second quantity is not 1. But if you take and move it 4/3, you technically do 4 divided by 3, you'd still get 4/3, and then put inches per week. Now per week is 1, and now it technically is a unit rate. Example number 1 states the graph shows the amount of milk used to make a particular cheddar cheese. How many ounces of cheese can you make per gallon of milk? Well, let's get into this. I look at the points that they have plotted for us, and then I only see one point right here at 32 for milk, gallons of 2 milks. Sorry about that. 2 gallons of milk for 32 ounces in weight. Comparing for slope, it is always, again, change in y divided by change in x, or rise over run. So I would have 32 divided by 2 gallons to equal 16 ounces per gallon. I wanted to just stop and talk about something that I noticed that we're still struggling with a little bit, and partially my fault. We didn't really discuss it in depth on the previous videos, but I just wanted to talk about when a line is connected and when a line is not connected. As we can see on this graph in number 1, the line is a straight line, but they've connected the dots there. That means that I could pick any point anywhere on the x-axis here. So I could say when I have 4 gallons of milk, that's going to give me roughly a little bit more than 64 ounces of cheese. I can pick any point on the line. It doesn't even have to be 4. I could go 4.5 and go up that way as well. Because when I connect those points, any point on that line can now be inferred as how many ounces are gallons of milk to give me how many ounces of cheese. If we look back on our quiz for the bonus bucks, I tried to explain this to everybody that I don't connect the dots here because if I spend anywhere between $0 to $50, the store is going to go, oh man, you should really try to spend $50 so that you can earn $4 in bonus bucks. If you didn't spend $50, if you spent $35, they would say, too bad, so sad, you don't get to earn any bonus bucks. They don't say, oh, you spend $25, we're going to now say you get $2 in bonus bucks. Since this is not a point on the line, I can't connect the points. If you still need further explanation of that, please see me. I'm going to have you guys go on and try number 2, so go ahead, pause the video, and give that one a shot. We're back. I just wanted to show you 2 different ways that you could answer this question. They're not specifically asking for it to be in a rate or unit rate. So if you had answered 5/2 gallons of milk per pound of butter, that would be considered a unit rate. Or somebody could say, well, I now want to change Instead of saying 5 gallons of milk per pound of butter, maybe I do want to just actually change that to 2.5, 2 5/10 gallons per pound. Either answer there would be acceptable. Number 3 states that your neighbor burns 88 calories in 8 minutes cross-country skiing. There is a proportional relationship between calories burned and time. Part A says, what is the unit rate of calories per minute? Well, calories per minute. That's right there telling me what my setup should look like. So I'll have the 88 calories divided by 8 minutes and simplify that down to give me 11 calories per minute, which I can write with the division bar. Part B states, use this unit rate to draw a graph that models the situation where the horizontal axis shows the time. So let me move this down a little bit. This will be the time. And the vertical axis shows the total calories burned. We want to come up with an appropriate title. I will say calories burned over time. The final question is asking, what is the slope of the line? I'm going to plot my points first using my unit rate of 11 calories per minute. Starting at 0. If I just wanted to go up by the number of minutes, I could say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Since I don't want my graph to be squeezed in, I'm just going to go every other box. So I'll say that's 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5. So that means each box is technically worth a half. Then I will do the same thing. I will go up 2 boxes, put 11, 2 boxes, put 22, 2 boxes, 33, 2 boxes, 44. So just thinking to myself, 11 calories per minute, so that would be in 1 minute, 11 calories. Double that would be in 2 minutes, 22 calories. Triple that, 33. Quadruple, 44. And now comes the question, do I connect the points or not? Well, I'm thinking to myself I probably would, because I'm not just going to be working out in small little increments of 5 minutes. I might decide to work out 6 minutes, which would keep showing the pattern. I could work out 1 minute and 33 seconds, and there would be a proportional relationship to the number of calories that I would burn, so I would show that I connect my dots here. To even go one step further, if we use our formula y equals mx, we know that our unit rate is 11. I can now substitute 11 in place of my unit rate, and now I can even label my graph with y equals 11x. Go on to number 4, try that one on your own. When you come back, it will be complete. And we're back. I just realized I didn't answer the final question in example 3, part B. We just need to make sure that we do actually state that the slope is 11. And for number 4, I got for my unit rate to be 36 feet per fathom, which gave me 6 feet per fathom. And that will mean that the final slope will be 6, because the slope and the unit rate are the same thing. In my graph, I did connect my dots again, because I could be 1 3/10 fathoms down, and that would have a correct correlation to a point on my line here. So because that point does exist, I have to draw my line to connect the dots. We have to make sure we have our label for the depth. Your feet is on the y-axis, your fathoms is on the x. I connected my dots, put an arrow at the end of the line, and labeled the line. Example number 5 says your friend borrows $200 from her parents. Those are nice parents. The graph shows how much money she owes her parents. How much is she repaying her parents per week? How long will it take your friend to repay her loan? Stopping and thinking about this one for a second, I notice that my graph does not go through the origin to start, but it is a straight line, which is telling me that even though it doesn't go through the origin, I'm still going to be paying back incrementally each week the same amount. And since it is a negative slope, you notice that it is a negative slope, the money over time that she owes her parents should be getting less. To find the slope, all you need to do is just pick any 2 points on the line. And I would pick any 2 points where they pass through the grids exactly. So I noticed that at 4, it passes exactly right here and hits at 120. And at 6 weeks, it hits at 80. I wouldn't want to use 5 because that's in the middle here, and that would be more of an estimate, and that wouldn't be as accurate with my answer. So we can think about rise and run here. 40 would be my rise, and 2 would be my run. So if I had rise divided by run, I'd have negative 40 divided by 2 to give me negative 20, which means I'm paying back their parents $20 per week. Notice that the negative sign disappears because I'm saying repay $20 per week. Then they ask, how long will it take her to pay her loan? Well, if the total amount that she borrowed is 200, she's paying back 20, I would do 200 divided by 20 to give me 10. The money cancels out because I'm dividing by the same unit, and that actually leaves me with 10 weeks. Because this is actually technically on the bottom, $20 per week. So that's why I'm left over with the label of 10 weeks. One more example to go. When you come back, it'll be done, and we'll be ready to move on to the homework. We got a final answer here of 3 grams per day. I know that these don't look like they go exactly, the 2 that I picked, doesn't look like it goes exactly to the line. It's a little bit higher on the 20, and it's a little bit higher than the 5, so I just estimated there with the 15 and the 5 to get 3 grams per day. After this, you guys can go ahead and try the practice 14-4 homework. We'll see you tomorrow.